Hello, hi, I'm Prince Famina. Okay, so with today's section, we'll be talking about operator overloading and derived classes. So I was supposed to show my face, as I said in most of my previous um, sections with you, but due to my camera on my laptop, so I wouldn't be able to do that. But that shouldn't be a blockage for us to, for today's lesson to go on. So let's get into it. So we operator overloading and derived classes. Alright, so let's get into the objectives. Okay, so at the end of this section, we should at least learn the concept of operator overloading and learn about derived classes, learn about how to implement inheritance and operator overloading defines. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, learn how to implement inheritance and polymorphism. Okay, so operator overloading. So operator overloading, okay, defines how operators behave for user-defined data types like classes and structures. Alright. So with this, it defines how operators, alright, behave for user-defined data types like classes. Okay. So it also one way or the other allows you to redefine, okay, the behavior of operators, okay, for user-defined data types. Alright. In as much as it's helping you know, or behaving for using different types like classes, whatever. It also allows you to redefine the behavior of operators for user-defined data types, right, such as classes and then structures, as I said earlier. Okay. Then operator overloading in C++ program can add special features to the functionality and behavior of already existing operators such as mathematical and other operators. Okay. So we go to the next point. Operator, the operator plus sign. Okay. The plus operator. Okay. When used with values of type int returns their sum. Okay. So what's trying to mean here is that with this type operator, okay, this plus operator, alright, when it's used with values of data type int, okay, the result or output it brings is the sum of, if maybe the operands, okay, the sum of the values, alright. So however, when used with objects of a user-defined type, it is an error, okay. However, when used with defined user-defined type, it is an error. Right? In as much as it's being doing its main function, the term is adding up or putting out the sum. When it's being used for user defined type, okay, it produces an error. Okay, so this is all. So you have the arithmetic operations, you have the logic operations, right? And then relational operations, you have the pointer operators, you have memory management operator, and you delete. And then okay, so let's get into the types of operator overloading. So we have two types of operator overloading. Alright. So the first type is function overloading. Okay. Then the other is operator overloading. So you have function overloading and then operator overloading. Okay. So one, okay, you can say return type operator symbol and then the parameters. Alright, in the parentheses. Okay. So the return type of the function operator a special keyword and a symbol the operator we want to overload. Okay. So being if the symbol, if you want to overload a plus sign, a minus sign, a greater than, an asterisk sign, a modulo sign, however you want to do it. That's what they're getting as a sample. And the operator is a special keyword, alright? So for the return type of the function. And then int operator. So for int operators, you can say plus plus int return plus plus h. Okay, let's just have a quick look of it. Okay, so these are also forbidden overloading rules. Okay, forbidden overloading rules. So now we have the ternary or conditional operator. Okay, that goes for the forbidden overloading rules. Alright, and then the second one is scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator. So you will see that this sign what we want is about find it out on a different slide. Right. Okay. Okay. So these are some of the the operators that cannot be overloaded. Okay. So they are forbidden to overload. Okay. So we have the ternary or conditional operator, scope resolution operator, okay, dot operator or member selector. So all of these you cannot overload them. In as much as you can overload plus sign, minus sign, and so on and so on. But with this coupling resolution operator, dot operator, and so on and so forth, object type operator, object size operator. With all of these, you cannot do it. You cannot overload them. Okay. Okay. So still on the forbidden overloading rule, it is not possible to change the number of operands. Okay, of an operator support. It's impossible, alright, to change the number of operands of an operator support. Okay, it's impossible. And then default precedence and association of operators are maintained. Okay, to simplify syntax allows the user the use of notation closer to the target domain. The target domain support to build the built-in tiles for you. Okay, so the disadvantages of overloading. Okay, so it leads to potential misuse. Okay, since it's kind of being quite easier and more understandable and quite big to be using, people begin to abuse it. Okay, so people begin to overuse it. So the potential misuse. Okay, so the abuse or misuse can lead to unexpected behavior. Okay, so when you misuse or overuse it, then abuse the operator, the overloading operating, it leads to unexpected behavior you expect from your programming or your code. Maybe if you programmed your code to see out the name of this of let me say Amma, if Amma is a girl, but due to the overloading and certain things, then if you see out Kofi to be a girl, okay, so that's what they're trying to say. And then leads to complexity. Overuse or misuse introduces complexity. Okay, in as much as it somehow brings a simplicity inside, but overusing it, okay, overusing or misusing it introduces a huge complexity in your coding. So let's go on to derived classes. So a derived class is created from an existing class, alright? Derived, as the name suggests, derived being taken from. Okay, so let me say the basis is all there, and then you derive it, you take from it. So it's created from an existing class. Okay, so derived class integers inherits all members and member function a base class. The derived class can have more functionality with respect to base class. Okay, so as I said earlier, so you mean have a base class, okay, and then you derive or take parts of from the base class. You get it? So that's what it means. Okay, so these are some of the structures defining it. Okay, so in defining a derived class, it begins with the keyword class followed by the name. Okay, just as previous slide. Okay, defining class. Okay, so this is the same way approach. So you can see here we have the class and then the name. Okay, so let's just have a quick look of how it is. Okay, so class and then derived record. Alright, then the public and access identity specifier, the public main record. It means that this can also be accessed and then outside the class. Alright, same as the classes we learned earlier. Okay, so it's quite similar to the previous ones. Okay, so the access modifiers such as public, private, and protected. Okay, so as I explained in the previous slides. Okay, so with this you can access its members outside the derived classes. The private can be its members can be accessed and then within the classes, and the protected its members can be accessed within it but with a certain limit. Alright, a certain range. Okay, so public. So as I've explained earlier, protected. Then the public members of the bees become protected members in the derived class. Okay, so they are always private in the derived class. So meaning that you can be accessing them only in the within the derived class. Okay, so this is how we're using it. Okay, so talking about polymorphism. Polymorphism means many forms. Okay, so you've been hearing polymorphism for quite a while now, and it all means what? Many forms. And it occurs when we have many classes that are related to each other. So when you have many classes related to each other, this is how we clarify them to be polymorphism in many forms. So it uses methods inherited from classes to perform different tasks. Okay, so this is how we code polymorphism. Okay, okay. So at this juncture, I know and believe you have a bright and new a brief idea of what derived classes means. Okay, thank you for your time.